In this video, which is going to be a very raw, unedited, just pretty casual video, I want to talk about why you should make these type of videos using a meta perspective. The anti-beastification, as I'm going to call it, is a big thing that's happening on YouTube right now. And I'm going to be honest that right now, if you're looking to make a lot of money on YouTube, if you're looking to become a YouTuber, get 1,000 subscribers, go full time, get all the watch hours, subscribers, money, monetization, everything that you want on YouTube, sometimes making the most casual, easygoing videos is a surefire way to success. And I want to say this and do this video because back in the day, it's kind of come full circle, where back in the day, YouTube was very raw. It was very relatable, and I think that's why YouTube, in my opinion, really took off, because it wasn't this polished thing you're seeing on a TV show. It was very relatable of a Joe Schmo doing a video about whatever, and you watching them. And there was something that had that connection. And then I think over time, YouTube videos, for better or for worse, you could argue, started becoming a lot better in terms of editing, production value, cinematography. Like, it was crazy that people are spending and are spending tons of money to make a YouTube video. Mr. Beast is the prime example of this. His videos cost sometimes as much as a movie, right? Like, I mean, it's kind of crazy. And I think YouTube got to this point, I'm going to say maybe 2 years ago, where things were crazy high production value. And I think there started to become a gap between the YouTube videos and people saying, look, I just want to watch a good video of someone going out and doing X, Y, or Z. I want some vulnerability. I don't want things to be super jump cut, fast paced, things coming in and out with this crazy. I want something maybe not as polished. And in my opinion, the first person to really encapsulate this was someone named Sam Sulek. In case you don't know, you can find him on YouTube. He's a fitness YouTuber, and he kind of created, and in my opinion, kind of pioneered this trend. In my opinion, the biggest to start doing this. We kind of flipped the script on its head. What I'm calling the anti-beastification of YouTube, where he said, you know what? As opposed to doing fitness videos, where they're like, here are 5 ways to build muscle, and things jumping in and out, and like crazy rock music and everything. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to drive to the gym. He sets up his camera. He drives to the gym and talks to you. There's no background music. There's really not that much editing at all. He's just talking to you as if I'm talking to you now. There's pauses. Maybe he slurs his words at sometimes. He says a lot. There's no jump cut editing. It's pretty casual. You almost feel like you're hanging out with him in the car. Then he goes to the gym, sets up his tripod, and he's like talking about what he's doing for that day. Very, very easygoing, casual. I might even use the word low budget, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but low effort videos. But here's the thing. They took off because it wasn't this crazy polish. It was very relatable. And that's one thing I think I've noticed on YouTube, especially now more than ever on social media. I think TikTok also is a big contributor of this, that people want to be vulnerable, relatable, and more human. Because I think when you go look at what's like happened with Instagram, for example, I'll say this. When Instagram was getting to its peak, you had people who are now on filters. Look at me on this yacht. Look at me flexing. Look at all this stuff. Look at these crazy, look at me with this hot guy or this hot girl or whatever. But now people are like, look, I don't want to see the fancy, schmancy, flashy, flexing stuff. I want vulnerability. And I think TikTok actually had some, contributions to that, where people on TikTok started talking about how bad their day was. That they didn't use filters. That they were like, hey, my day sucked and here's why. That people were being just raw and honest and relatable and human. And I think Sam Sulek was a big contributor of this on YouTube and really one of the first to really become a big name of being like, wait, this guy's videos are kind of low effort. Not in a bad way. That's not an insult, because Sam Sulek is very smart when it comes to fitness, supplementation, working out, nutrition, and more. But it showed that things are changing on YouTube. Another big one is Dry Creek Wrangler School, who did a video called When You Just Ain't Got It All Together. And in that video, kind of just sitting outside, casual, was just talking about philosophy and life and different perspectives to have. And when you're going through rough stuff, how to get over it. I got to say, the guy has a great voice, might as well say, when it comes to him. In addition, it was kind of like a cool video because the scenery in the video is beautiful. He's holding a pipe, so it feels very like philosophical, really, it's a cool shot and a cool video. But here's the thing, it's like, I think a 15-minute long video of him just talking about philosophy. No crazy jump cuts, no crazy editing, no pattern interrupts, as people call them on YouTube, which is the technical term when something comes in and out. No background music. And it's very relatable. It's almost like, in his video, a mini podcast. Sam Sulek, you could argue some of his videos are like an hour and a half long, almost kind of like a visual podcast where, again, most podcasts are very, very bare bones. No background music, very, very minimal jump cuts sometimes between the person's faces. Like if you look at the Joe Rogan Experience, for example, the most famous podcast right now. And I want to say all this because I think if you look at a lot of YouTubers, the casual videos, the very just raw videos are doing the best. One great example of this, I'm a huge fan of this guy, is Money Mind Unfiltered. Definitely check out his channel. He has a channel called Money Mind, and that one is very polished videos about making money on YouTube, making money online. He exposes a lot of scams. He also talks about, in a very transparent and vulnerable way, of how much money he's making, etc. And he made a second channel called Money Mind Unfiltered, which were meant to be very kind of casual, easygoing videos. As he worded it, they were kind of test videos. Being like, hey, I'm trying to work on this one video idea. I'm just going to post a casual video on YouTube, use it as like a rough draft to then make a polished version for my main channel. And he mentioned that his casual video, Money Mind Unfiltered, got bigger because people kind of wanted that. You know, we've all seen these videos online on YouTube of people talking about making money online, where they're like, there are 5 ways to make money online, and they're trying to sell your course, and there's like graphs going like this, and like, they've, you know, all this kind of stuff. And he's just very relatable. Money Mind Unfiltered. I can't remember his real name, unfortunately, but he has great videos because he's relatable. He's human. He's like, I tried this. This didn't really work. Here's how much money I'm making. Man, I lost money doing this. And he's just a normal Joe Schmo that you're like, I can relate to this guy. He's being human. He's being, which is tough to find in the YouTube world or on social media, he's being honest, right, about money and all this kind of stuff. And so when it comes to your given niche on YouTube or even social media, whatever your goal is, I think there is something right now that's been happening a lot that people really like, where they don't want to see high production value. They don't want to see all this crazy stuff. And I'm not saying to have bad edited videos. I'm also not saying you can't have really well-made videos. What I'm saying is, I think being vulnerable, being honest, being able to connect, being able to be human is sometimes a tough skill, where sometimes it is tough to make a video that is generally just raw and you being fully yourself. It's kind of like that quote, kind of cliche, but sometimes cliches are popular for a reason, where character is what you do and say when no one's around, right? And sometimes on camera, it can be kind of tough to be like, how do I say something in a way but be the best version of myself on camera? But sometimes just hitting record and being like, look, guys, let's say you're doing a weight loss journey, and you hit record on that camera, and you're like, look, guys, it's 5 a.m. I don't want to do this. I know I have to go for a run today. Part of my weight loss journey is waking up early and going for a run before I have to go to work for my 9-to-5 job. I don't want to do, and you having the pauses, you not looking all dolled up, or if I word like that, like you're just like this, maybe you have like, bags under your eyes. I don't know, but there's something to be said about just being super transparent. And that's one thing I've noticed on this channel, for example, that some of my videos maybe have a little editing to them here and there, where I do like different points. I sometimes have background music. But another thing I've noticed is sometimes making videos that have really good value, very good content, but also can be very relatable, sometimes are best in a situation like this. Like this video, for example, I could have easily had pictures come in and out of Mr. Beast versus, Sam Sulek, or pictures or videos of Sam Sulek as voiceovers. I could have had maybe clips. I could have maybe done better background. I could have done all these different things to make this video what would be considered a better production or a higher production, but that doesn't always equal more views. And I think for a lot of people in the beginning of YouTube think that. Of course, I want to say this. You do want to have good audio and a good video. That's kind of all you need, though. I want to stress, I film every video with my iPhone. I have a $20 tripod. It's listed below in the description. This is a $250 microphone, so it is a bit pricey. But huge pro tip, the microphone on your iPhone or on your smartphone, not that bad. To be honest, not that bad, especially now with technology being good. Or 2, use your computer to record your microphone. I'm not joking. I think that, say, the microphone on my built-in MacBook is about the same quality as, the Blue Snowball Ice, maybe even the Yeti, or the Blue Yeti. Pretty similar quality, I'll be honest, which sounds kind of crazy. So maybe if you don't even have a microphone, but you have a MacBook or a computer, put it right next to you, like where my microphone is, and film videos, right? So these are the different things that I think sometimes a lot of YouTubers hype themselves up, like I have to have this crazy Mr. Beast thing. Even Mr. Beast has talked about this, where he's starting to even dial back his production. He's making the videos a bit longer, a bit more easygoing, not crazy things one after the other, but making things more just relatable, human, vulnerable, and more. And again, for a video like this, I know I'm driving this point home a lot, but I just want to say it because on this channel, as we're documenting the journey to make $1 million, a big part of this channel is me being human, right? I'm not a Nepo baby. I don't have rich parents, right? I have done okay on YouTube. I've been a full-time YouTuber for the past 10 years. But my goal for this channel is to really genuinely make $1 million. And I do want to be honest about the pros and the cons. I've done videos about why sometimes I get some doubt. And so I want to say this just in general, when it comes to making content on YouTube now, if like you're looking to get started, you're like, man, I don't know how to get started or whatever, just start making videos. The best advice I've heard is from Gary Vaynerchuk, the famous entrepreneur, who said, don't create content, document. Just start by documenting your day. And I promise you that even if you're like, look, I'm just going like this with my phone and I'm talking for 5 or 10 minutes, why would anyone want to watch that? Those kind of raw videos is what people kind of want now. The vulnerability, the connection, the human thing of being like, this Joe Schmo is trying to lose weight and he's having a hard time. That's more relatable than some other guy, like say Bob Smith, for example, just use like random 2 generic names, than Bob Smith, who's doing these high quality production value videos of him losing weight, not having any issues. He's eating healthy, he has no problem cutting those pounds. And you're like, well, that's not relatable. His videos are high production. He probably has tons of money. He probably spent a bunch of money on a personal trainer. He's saying that he has no issues losing weight. How much do I really believe that? That's not a human thing. Joe Schmo is going to get way more dedicated followers, subscribers, and views and money from people relating to him than Bob Smith, because it's more understandable. And I think that connection, really does go a long way. And that's something that I've noticed with my own channels. Yes, sometimes I do make a very square video, as in like, here's how to edit something in iMovie. I show how to do it and that's it. Boom, that's the video. But other times when I talk about certain things, about me going out or doing stuff, I like to be very honest and raw, where I'm like, hey, I tried this, it wasn't good. And sometimes maybe pausing and having gaps in the video, if I were like that, when some YouTubers, like say a little bit back in the day, would cut those out. Be like, oh, that's 5 seconds of silence when you're thinking of what to say next. We got to cut that out. So it's very, very tight. Now, I think that 5 seconds of silence, for example, between certain thoughts that you're saying or when you're trying to collect your thoughts together can actually be very powerful. And so I think this is something just to be aware of, that not only should you start filming, and that's the biggest YouTube one-on-one advice I give in a lot of videos. If you want to get big on YouTube, just start filming, just start making videos. But also, understand that sometimes by making something casual and relatable, that can actually be the best possible video you can make.